Hey, happy Friday. Megan Schultz here, your host of Cream City Dreams on Wednesdays and the Cream City Digest on Fridays. Short and sweet episodes where I fill you in on all the inspiring things that I'm seeing throughout the week. And in this short mini-series in May, just some meta reflection on attention, what I'm noticing about my own attention and about the idea of giving up social media, how I'm preparing for this June detox. I hope you will tune in on Fridays and maybe consider joining me. Maybe you could use a break too. At least you can get some food for thought in these bite-sized episodes every Friday. Hey, happy Friday. Another week, another digest. I hope you're enjoying this series with Thekla and our conversations around attention and where we put it, what steals it, how we get it back, what it does to our brain. And I want to start by just shouting out the people who are responding to my newsletters and who are leaving voice memos to tell me that they're with me. They get this. They want to do it too. They feel the need for a detox. It really is nice to know I'm not alone here, but also for the accountability of knowing that there are others of you who want to follow along. So thank you for those communications with me. I appreciate that. And it also feels like there are a lot of us out there. And I don't know if it's that serendipitous thing that when you are thinking about something and looking for something, then you find it. But all I'm seeing right now is the word attention everywhere. It seems like so much is coming into my inbox, into the podcasts I listen to, into the newsletters I get about this. So this is timely. I'm trying to pay attention each time I am online, which I still haven't given up yet. And I'm almost, I almost find myself using it more because I know it's ending. Like, oh, we just got to get in those last sips, right? But I'm really trying to pay attention as I'm doing this on the things that I am going to miss about it. There's a podcast I listen to. It's called Off the Grid by Amelia Hruby. And she talks about marketing without social media and how to get off the grid, she's talking to business owners and entrepreneurs, small business owners and entrepreneurs, but I think it's relevant for anyone, honestly. And she has an episode about getting off it and talking about the grieving that comes with it. And I thought that was so interesting because we all sign up for this Facebook, Instagram, whatever it was, whenever it was, because it met a need that we had. And in those first few months or years even of that platform, maybe it served its purpose and maybe it was brilliant at connecting you or at allowing you to express yourself or whatever it was you got from that. And then things shifted. And then it became whatever it is to you. For me, it's sometimes a burden, sometimes a nuisance, sometimes connective, but not always. But also it becomes this place that I feel like I can't leave, right? And so in this one episode, she talks a lot about grieving the process of leaving and how that's okay because it did serve a purpose once and it was important to us once. And so as we think about leaving, to think about grieving. And so I've been doing that as I scroll, thinking, okay, what am I going to miss about this? And what am I so grateful to be leaving? And there are a lot of things I will miss in June. Who knows if I'll come back, right? I think about the things that are just joyful, the things that just give me some levity, the things that make me laugh. There are some people online who are just so funny, so flippin' funny. And then sometimes you just need that belly laugh. I'd say I'd link to them in the show notes, but that is not really the point of what I'm trying to do here. And then there are other people who give me inspiration, right? There is this woman, I don't know what her name is. She's got fluorescent pink hair. She's British. And she is just like, you girl. Oh no, she says it in a British accent. I'm not going to try my British accent here, and she drops a lot of F-bombs, but she's like, don't be small. You are beautiful. Anyway, I can't remember what her name is, but I love anytime one of her videos comes up. I love it because I'm like, yeah, girl. Yes. Okay. And I could feel myself stand a little taller after her things, right? And then there are like some parenting people that I like who I actually get really good parenting tips from and that help me in that journey. And so it's sort of, this experience is sort of a letting go of some of the good stuff that comes with it and wondering, where am I going to get that from? And worrying that I won't find a substitute for it, which I'm not saying is enough to make me not want to do this detox, but I'm just saying it's food for thought. But I'm also thinking about the things I'm not going to miss as I'm scrolling as well. Oh, seeing that post by that girl from wherever she's from in my life that makes me feel not good enough or makes me want to compare myself, and then that yucky feeling I get. Ugh, no thanks. And one thing I'm really doing that I think I talked about last week is letting myself feel these feelings, not just in my head, but in my body. There's something about embodying these feelings that make them all the more real. And the cool thing about all this paying attention to my attention is that it's making me really focus on tiny things. Like, for example, I have 4 caramel delights left. What the heck? Why did I not order a case of these? But I have 4 left. And I've never had one before this year. I don't know why. I always stuck to Thin Mints, but I'm a troop leader this year. And so we had a tasting party, and now I love caramel delights. Who knew? I have 4 left. And so I'm chewing them slowly. I'm enjoying each little flake of the coconut. I'm making sure that I'm not doing anything else while I'm eating this. Like, I'm not checking something. I'm not rinsing something. I'm not chewing and doing. I am just chewing because I have 4 left and I can't get any until next year, unless there's any listeners out there who want to send me a box. But, I'm done. So I need to enjoy these. And my attention is making me think more about this. And then I think about, I should post that. Because in my head, I'm thinking in 140 character sentences. Or wouldn't this be funny if I shared this? And what am I going to do when I can't share this? And like, does this feeling even exist if I can't share it and put it out there? And so the second big thing that all of this attention on attention has been making me think about is not only the attention that I put on things, like my attention to something, but conversely, the attention on. And what do I need? And what am I asking for by being a part of the social media matrix? And who am I without that as well, without attention on? Obviously, I'm worried about it for the podcast because I want all of these guests to get their fair share of promotion, but also on a personal level, right? What does it mean if I have a thought and I can't share it? It's like if a tree falls in the forest and nobody's around, I don't know what happens. And so that's a whole nother season maybe on attention on, but just something to think about. I would be curious, listeners, if you have any thoughts on this kind of attention, the attention that we need or the attention that we ask for or want. Speaking of attention on, I do want to make sure the June podcasts get all the love because, oh my goodness, do I have some cool women coming in June. As I won't be on the socials, if you can share them for me, listeners, if you're listening to this, I know you are a hardcore fan of Cream City Dreams. Thank you for being here. Can I ask you to share the podcasts? Can I ask you to share the newsletter? Tell your friends to sign up for it. Tell friends to subscribe. Send pointed texts or emails or voice memos or even conversations about these women because their stories all around the theme of joy this summer will be inspiring, are inspiring. I've already interviewed several of them and oh my goodness, can't wait for you to hear who is bringing joy to our city. So would you do me that favor? Please, 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 and thank you. So that's where I'm at this week. That is what I have been thinking about. And As I'm recording this, today was my last full class day with this group of women who are gathering around attention and talking about attention. And the teacher of the class talked about something called embodied imagination. And she said that the body doesn't know the difference between what we imagine and what is actually happening. I don't know the science behind that. I'm just trusting that that is true. And so she had us today write in the third person and sort of write a myth about our attention and where we see it going, a myth that goes into the future. And I just wanted to read mine so that if it resonates with you and you want to try writing your own myth as you think about your own reasons for joining me or not on a social media detox or any kind of detox. So this was my myth. She knew when she turned 50 that it was time, and so it was. She put down her phone. Are you imagining the next line to be never to be picked up again? Of course not. But she found balance. She knew there would be opportunities she would miss. She knew things would happen that would catch her unawares, but she decided she could live with that. In fact, more than live with that or tolerate it, she came to accept it graciously. It was okay to live small in that way, because living small in that way allowed her to live big in so many other ways. She used words like flow and create and gather and connect. She found herself in the zone more often than not, and when her flow was interrupted, it wasn't for an incessant buzzing or 1,000 red dots waiting to be answered. Instead, it was for the neighbor stopping by with tea or the child who needed a lap. And what she had us do is just close our eyes, hand on heart, and just imagine living into that person. So that's what I will be doing in the month of June. Wish me luck. And if you're coming along with me, let me know. I would love to have accountability partners. I've gotten emails from a few of you, so I know you're out there. All right. Thekla and I will be back on Wednesday for part 3 of our series on attention. This week, we're talking about it mindfully. We're talking about self-compassion, self-care, and how to be more gracious with ourselves as we approach this. So hope you'll join in. Until then, Milwaukee, keep on dreaming.